I think it was Napoleon who said that an army travels on its stomach. It's never been more true than with five-star self-camping. If the food isn't great, well, you might as well stay in a hotel. Because we travel ultra-light when we're self-camping, we need to prepare food that is delicious, and because we are traveling great distances during the day, food also must be nutritious. But what the heck, this is five-star self-camping, so we have to prepare this food quickly and easily. As with most other things, this has to do with being prepared. I use a compact Trangia stove. It burns alcohol and almost anything else that contains alcohol. This is truly a compact stove. It has the stove, a half-liter saucepan with a cover and a fry pan, and it boils water in less than 5 minutes, and it all fits together for storage. Now let's start with plates and utensils. I have this fork and knife and spoon kit that fastens together. I usually eat from the cooking container to save washing and extra waste. Remember, we have to cook away from the campsite so as not to attract attention. So cooking at least 1 kilometer from your campsite is imperative. Not having smelly food at your campsite also means you won't attract wild animals. So I often hide my food away from the site, especially in very wild places. If I'm stealthing from my house, I make the first night's supper ahead of time and freeze it, and it saves cooking time. It's always a great meal, and because it's frozen in a plastic bag, it also keeps the potables cool without having to buy ice. When I'm traveling internationally, I need to be able to plan my meals ahead of time that very day. It means a trip to the grocery store. Depending on your stove, you can cook or fry just about anything, but size does count, and so does the cooking time. So let's start with breakfast. I love eggs and bacon, but since we can't cook at our site, I start at daybreak with something quick and easy I made beforehand. You can buy these small containers from the food store. I add my favorite dry cereal and a couple of tablespoons of instant milk powder. As soon as I'm out of the hammock, I add a little bit of water and shake. Then I enjoy. You can add some sugar to the mix while you're making it if you like your cereal sweet. For lunch, I'm going to make spaghetti alla carboniara. I need some pasta, an egg, and bacon. But because I'm five-star self-camping, I actually need quick-cooked pasta, pre-cooked bacon, and an egg. I try to find stores that sell small amounts of food. They're often in city centers. You don't need to buy a dozen eggs, so 6 is more than enough for the pasta and then for breakfast the next day. Many shops sell assorted pre-cut vegetables that you only have to heat and serve. Avoid food that requires refrigeration or freezing. Meat can be left out for several hours without refrigeration before cooking well. So just buy food for that day. Also consider having your main meal in the middle of the day so the food will be fresh, and you'll find that eating light late means that you will sleep much better at night. Camping stores often sell these freeze-dried foods that you can rehydrate. Some you can even cook in their own bag by just adding boiling water. Now, if you only need 5 milliliters of ketchup, why are we carrying 500 milliliters? There is an internet company that specializes in small amounts of products. You can buy your condiments there, or just keep the plastic pillows from the takeaway. We can't end any cooking segment without talking about self-heating meals. If you've been in the military, you know what that is. They're called MRE, or Meals Ready to Eat. This one is the backpacker's version. In there is a cryovac ultra high temperature meal You just add water to the bottom tray containing a chemical. The chemical reaction heats the water and steams the meal. You have a hot meal in 5 minutes with no preparation. The downside is that the food's not all that great, and there is a lot of waste to take out of the forest with you. Now, I suggest you go to the main menu and choose Potables. That's the things we drink.